The fall from grace of a living American legend 50 years in the making. Bill Cosby's alleged questionable behavior had gone largely unnoticed for decades. But why does it seem to have hit center stage only now? This round started off, believe it or not, as a joke. Back on October 16th, comedian Hannibal Buress says something that goes viral.
I can talk down to you because I had a successful sitcom. Yeah, it was great women, Bill Cosby, so...
Then, less than a month later, Cosby's Twitter page asked fans to meme Cosby. The results are overwhelmingly negative and quickly taken down. That begins a flood of allegations from women who say they were sexually assaulted by Cosby. Many claim they were drugged. The first to come forward publicly, Barbara Bowman.
I never saw any drugs, but I would wake up completely confused, half-dressed, and knowing that my body had been touched without my permission.
Also speaking out, Joan Tarshis.
We went up to his bungalow afterwards. He made me a drink, and very shortly after that, I passed out. I woke up or came to very groggily with him removing my underwear.
Tarshis says that in 1969, she voluntarily saw Cosby again when he invited her to a performance after accepting drinks at his hotel and in a limo. She says she woke up the next morning with him in his bed. Ironically, Cosby released a comedy album that same year entitled It's True, It's True, joking about doctoring drinks.
You know what? You know anything about Spanish fly? No, tell me about it. Well, there's this girl, Crazy Mary. You put some in her drink, man, she...
But with all the allegations, and even after former Temple University employee Andrea Constant went to police saying Cosby drugged and molested her in 2004, the local district attorney at the time, Bruce Castor, did not bring charges. Years later, Castor explains his decision. Constant, waiting for a year to go to authorities, heard her case against Cosby.
Because of the delay, I couldn't check her blood to see if there was any metabolites of that drug in her, so it made the case very difficult.
In 2005, Cosby spoke out about the allegations for the first time, telling the National Enquirer, "I am not going to give in to people who try to exploit me because of my celebrity status." Soon after, Constant responds with a civil suit alleging battery, assault, and defamation of her character. Constant and Cosby settle out of court for an undisclosed sum the following year. Also in 2005, Tamara Green on the Today Show with a similar story.
He had gone from helping me to groping me and kissing me and touching me and handling me and, taking off my clothes.
The latest salvo? A lawsuit filed last week by a woman who claims Bill Cosby sexually assaulted her in 1974 when she was 15. In court filings, Cosby calls those claims absolutely false, accusing the woman of extortion. Cosby's attorney says her lawyer made threats about criminal penalties, coupled with ever-increasing demands for a six-figure payday to keep quiet about her long-since-expired claims. Other stories shared in small circles, but getting little attention.
People did not want to believe our story.
And I finally said, I can't live in fear for the rest of my life.
The combination of comedian Buress's joke and the Twitter captions bring new accusers forward, some who share graphic details.
But I remember more specifically waking up and that there was a lot of pain in downstairs. There was semen all over me, and that my pajamas bottoms were off and the top was open.
He had his hand on the back of my head, and he was trying to push it towards his erect penis.
Cosby's attorneys deny many of the new allegations and call Dickinson a liar. The accusers may not have been the only ones reluctant to talk about it. Magazine and television journalist Mark Whitaker, who used to work for CNN, in his newly released authorized biography of Bill Cosby, doesn't touch the topic.
He has been a pioneer in so many areas. And, the Cosby Show is so big that people forget, all the other ways in which he, advanced entertainment.
Whitaker isn't alone. Bob Huber, former writer for Philadelphia Magazine, admits in his 2006 profile of Cosby he didn't question the star about the accusations.
You were writing about this, you were doing this big profile, you got invited to spend some time with Cosby, right? But you weren't allowed to ask him questions?
Right.
In a recent column, New York Times columnist David Carr criticizes Whitaker, but also calls himself an enabler in not reporting alleged misdeeds by Cosby. Those in the know also included me. Whitaker then agrees with Carr, tweeting, "David, you were right. I was wrong to not deal with the sexual assault charges against Cosby and pursue them more aggressively." CNN has obtained a sworn deposition Bill Cosby gave in 2005 as part of that ongoing civil lawsuit by former Temple University employee Andrea Constant. In this deposition, Bill Cosby says a media outlet suppressed another woman's story at his request. Cosby was asked, "What is your understanding of the agreement that you had with the National Enquirer concerning your exclusive interview?" "I would give them an exclusive story, my words." "What would they give you in return?" "They would not print the story of print Beth's story." Accuser Beth Ferrier says her story was dropped from publication in the magazine after Cosby issued his one and only interview on the Constant and Tamara Green accusations. While not commenting on Ferrier's story, American media, which publishes the National Enquirer, tells CNN the National Enquirer, more than any other publication, was unflinching in our aggressive coverage of allegations against Mr. Cosby beginning in 2000, when everyone else avoided the story. But all of the stories and the recent decision by Cosby to leave the Board of Trustees of his beloved Temple University has many suggesting it is past time for Cosby himself to address this scandal. Jean Casares, CNN, New York.